All right, fellas, welcome to week 4 of the Glacedia Draft League Season 2, where we have the two undefeated teams facing off for that undefeated position. We have the Dodo Delinquents, who are 3-0, and the Tar Terrors, who are also 3-0, facing off. It's Vitalytics, it's Casual Pizza. Let's get right into this battle. And there we are. We have week 4 already begun. Had a little bit of a spectate issue. Just made sure I could actually watch this battle. We have Glacedia Earth, is that? Yes, it is. Glacedia Earth. Squonk being brought in, and Velodo. Bees are already set in play. Psycho Force on the invisible Squonk. For whatever reason, it's not there. But it's being very ugly. And Magmatoad is swapped in. Pumpkin Spin on the Magmatoad, and we now know 3 Doodles on both sides. Now, Vitalytics is representing the Tar Terrors, while Casual Pizza is representing the Dodo Delinquents. Both sides, once again, are 3-0, so only one of these teams is ending off with a perfect record. You saw it right there, Incinerate, taking away the item off of Catholos, the 4th Doodle, brought in play. Now, if I do go over to the teams on both these sides, you already know the Delinquents. You've seen them before on a battle video already. They have Velodo, Glacedia Earth, Mamolten, Gobblegoo, Catholos, Sumo, Spectatic, Voltenchant, Squonk, Seacran, Montor, and Malotrick. Tsunami is brought into play onto that Vermorph. It is awakened, so that's their awakened slot being used already. It's likely where the Beast Summon came from. And Catholos has to swap out back into Glacedia, and Antenna Beam, even though it's not very effective, still a pretty decent amount of damage. But that's basically as much as you can get with this Vermorph as it stands. Now, if we look at Tar Terror's team, their first pick is in play right now. It is Vermorph. They also got Carnivore, Dame Seal, Glacedia S, so they have the Spark variant of Glacedia, Morpheus, Magmatoad, Henchum, Umaisho, Knoxville, Diaphin, Mascomedy, and Joluminous. Each of the Doodles also have individual stats, so if I go to Vermorph, I can actually see Vermorph has battled twice and is 2-0 in those battles. And Antenna Beam onto the Voltenchant, the 5th Doodle, already revealed for the Dodo Delinquents. This Voltenchant is also 2-0 in its battles so far. And it will be awakening. The Downpour has arrived. And it will awaken into that Spark Water type. Umaisho is brought in, and Storm Heal recovers all the damage taken. It's been a pretty even match so far from what I've seen. And so far, I don't see any sort of advantage. Velodo is brought in, hit and run. Double switch. With Velodo taking a little bit of chip. And Carnivore is brought into play. Really interesting choice. Knowing that both sides are weak to each other, so this is really just a speed matchup. Whoever can go first deals big damage. That's really what Vitalytics is betting on right now. If it can do that beast type attack, it can destroy this Velodo. But if the Velodo hits first, that Carnivore is getting cooked. Now, I mean, on the surface, Carnivore doesn't really look like it would be fast. Actually, check its base stats again. Its speed is 83. And Velodo's base speed, yeah, that's a big difference. This would have to be some sort of enchanted emerald build. And there's a switch. It must be, as Ravenous Rush does nothing on that sumo, the Spiky Thorns does way more. And now we know all 6 Doodles on one side, 5 Doodles on the other. No knockouts yet. And Magmatoad is brought in play. Take out. Just a switch fiesta. Spiky Thorns just chipping away as often as it can. Two bulky fire types, both with Spiky Thorns. Take out. I wouldn't be surprised to see Catholos. I wouldn't be surprised to see Volt Enchant. But I'm a little surprised to see Velodo there. Obviously, fire-type attacks are still weakened by the rain. And Hit and Run will only just do a little bit of damage. Spiky Thorns chips away even more. Perhaps reading a fire move. Burning Orb burns that Catholos. And now there's more chip being dealt. Vitalytics reading that pivot. Not much the Magmatoad could do anyways. And obviously a water type attack, even without the rain, is just gonna... Sorry, Barista, you are... It's just watering you down. Big time. And there's a switch by Casualty. Double switch as Velodo's brought back in, but Vermorph is now in play. Interesting move by both sides. Obviously, Spark-type attacks are going to hit Velodo very hard, while Velodo can still hit as well with the hit and run. Could we see yet another pivot? I would not be surprised, as it's really just a chip match, trying to keep all Doodles alive as long as possible, trying to get in that perfect position to hit a big attack, which both sides haven't really been able to do yet. The timer's already going down very much. 120, 127, and Geluminous, the last Doodle, is brought out. Hit and Run is used for about 40% health taken. And that's just the name of the game for the Dodo Delinquents. Weaken them over and over again till there's nothing you can do. Squonk is brought into play against the Geluminous. And Divine Light cannot get the KO, but it does get the burn. Magic Tap lowers it, and Life Sap with a critical hit takes out the Geluminous for first blood. Now, obviously, the burn, I believe, took out some of the health recovery off of the Squonk, which could be important. We'll have to see. Carnivore is sent into play. Squonk got the big hit that it's wanting, but it had to take a big hit first. Psychic Ram onto that Sumo for big damage. And the Tartars make the correct read. Still getting hit back. And likely we will see a switch. Could we see a double switch? I don't know. We'll see. Either way, great read for a little bit more damage. Vermorph is sent into play. There's the double switch. And Catholos, another great read by the Tartars. Casualty likely realizing there was Enchanted, could bring in the Catholos. And Antenna Beam brings the Glacedia down to half HP. This Glacedia still posing a big threat because it can just wall everything that this Vormorph dishes. Now this Vormorph still can hit it, but I don't think it'll be enough to knock it out head to head, even though it's down to half HP. But it might not, due to that shock therapy, as Antenna Beam does less than the heal. Vitalytics probably wants to switch now. Could we see a double switch? Morphew is brought in play. Shock therapy once again to heal up that Glacedia. Morphew C. This is a water type. So obviously this Glacedia is weak to this Morphew. What will we see brought in now? It is the Squonk. Double switch back into Carnivore. And now the Carnivore is wide open for a big attack on whatever is brought in. I have a feeling we will not be seeing the Sumo, but the Tartaras are still going to probably read what play is being made. I don't think they're going to want to do a Psychic-Ram. I think they're just going to do a big plant attack. This is a big turn right here, depending on what the Delinquents send in or what happens. Floral Fang just letting it knock out Chlorobite to restore some health. And we are tied. One Doodle down by both sides. 5 to go. We got the Velodo at 62%, the Catholos at 82%, Sumo at 27%, Voltenchant at 100%, and Glacedia Earth at 87%. Meanwhile, we got Carnivore 72%, Morphew C, Umaisho both at 100%, Vermorph at 75%, and Magnetoad at 52%. Carnivore is swapped out into Magnetoad, who tanks the Savage Blow. Once again, the Spiky Thorns and the defense drop to weaken it even further. Will we see yet another switch? Yes, we will. Hit and run. Gets the KO on the Magnetoad. Tartar is opting to just get a little bit more chip on the Velodo, as they also get to see what else is brought in and make a safe switch with a worthy sacrifice, obviously. And the new Doodle is Voltenchant, which can do some pretty good damage to whatever is brought in. Carnivore is that Doodle. Will we see that big plant type attack, or will Sumo get brought in? There's Sumo, and there's Floral Fang. It doesn't get the KO, but another Floral Fang should still do the job. And with that, this Carnivore has free reign to do almost anything to this team. The only line of defense, really, is the Glacedia, which could maybe tank an attack or two, and the Velodo. Otherwise, that Catholos is getting cooked, and that Voltenchant is getting cooked. Could we see a 30% Velodo survive a Floral Fang from this Carnivore? No. Probably reading the Savage Blow. Savage Blow with the one-hit KO. And we're not done yet, folks. Looked like Tartar's had lead, but no. Tartar's likely thinking perhaps there could be a priority move in play. And now that they see there isn't, they're ready to go for the attack. This is the turn. This could determine the entire battle right here. If the Carnivore takes it out, then that's almost the entire team getting sent down for the Dodo Delinquents. If the Delinquents take it out, This is a massive lead. There's a switch into Volt Enchant, Floral Fang, one-hit KO, Chlorobite to heal it up big time. And it's a 3v3. The rain is gone. Velodo is brought in play. What might it do? They've already locked into the move. Carnivore is being switched out into Vermorph. Savage Blow once again. Critical hit for the KO. And it's a 3v2. Carnivore once again returning to the field. I think I know what's happening here. Ravenous Rush! It goes for the priority attack and it fails as there's another switch. And now the Carnivore is locked into the beast move. It has to switch out into Morpheo. There's the double switch. Back into Velodo. Delinquents still see a light at the end of the tunnel. Against the sweeper. Hit and run. As it switches, does more than half to the Morpheo. In goes the Catholos. And when it would have had absolutely nothing, it now has something to do. Carnivore is brought back in. Siphon Soul does hardly anything. And this Catholos might have to get sent down. It's very evident that Velodo has an enchanted item. It's probably Enchanted Ruby. I don't know why it would be Enchanted Emerald. We would have seen it by now. Floral Fang for the Chlorobite. And this determines everything. Velodo with the enchanted whatever. Could it be enough? Actually, it could be Enchanted Emerald. It just won't be Enchanted Sapphire. Either way, this is it. It's really just between these two Doodles. These two beast types. With two water types in the back. There's the switch into Morpheo. Morpheo is down. Savage Blow is brought in play. But now, that Carnivore can use Ravenous Rush and it'll be super effective on whatever's brought in. Will it be enough to finish the job? Ravenous Rush does not enough. Ravenous Rush does enough. And the Carnivore is so low. Can it finish the job against the Catholos? Will it be enough? I don't think it will. What a battle. It's not enough. Strong armor boosting the defense. Tsunami for the KO. And just like that, by the skin of their teeth, the Dodo Delinquents take the game. What a battle by the two top teams in this draft league. What an end. What a finish. How close was that? That's the best you can get at the Glacedia draft league. Could we get better? It's possible. But that was an amazing battle by both sides. Calculated chips. Calculated damage over the entire thing. Until it was really just those two Doodles facing off. Everything else was just whatever. Meat shields. It's really that. There's a Spellblade hat tricks. Can you believe it? Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week for week 5. Where, who will we have? I have no idea. But it'll probably be some new teams that you can watch. If you want to keep up with this draft league, make sure to join the server. It is in the description. If you want to keep track with the standings or the Doodles being used, the links are in the description. You can get the challenge link for the team stats. You can get the spreadsheet link for the Doodle stats. Anyways, I'll see you next time. Peace out.